you from Shambles to Shambhala. I'm Zia, and this is Sophie, the lovebird. She really wanted to be a part of this particular episode, to be here to wish you a very happy and magical solstice. Summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere, and of course, winter solstice down in the southern hemisphere. And Sophie is very involved in everything that I do, and she's really into the gene keys. And we're super excited about today because not only is it the solstice, but there's an eclipse tonight, making today even more potent and powerful. So we'll turn this over to Peter right now for a full energy report, and then we'll come back and start our ceremony, and hopefully you'll be a part of it. See you soon.
Hi everyone, Peter here. Just want to spend this time with you today, June 20th, which is a very powerful alignment where we have the summer solstice and a solar eclipse happening within just a few hours of each other, creating this very, very powerful opportunity for us to do this highly important intentional work together. The summer solstice takes place at 2:44 p.m. today, Pacific. And of course it is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and it is the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. And just a few hours later we have the total solar eclipse, which will be at its maximum at about 11:40 p.m. Pacific time. It lasts for about 4 hours in total, so plus minus a couple of hours, but 11:40 will be at its peak. And there is a tremendous alignment taking place because the summer solstice and the solar eclipse are so close together. All the geometries are lined up in every conceivable way, including connections through Stonehenge with the geometry at the Stonehenge circle, the Great Pyramid of Giza. And what's quite interesting about this one is as the sun is going to rise over the heel stone on Sunday morning in England at Stonehenge, it's exactly the same time as the maximum of the solar eclipse in Africa, where it is going to be seen as a total solar eclipse. It also connects into the galactic energies, so every aspect of our existence, from Mother Earth through to the center of the Milky Way galaxy, are all included in this very, very powerful day. So this is a phenomenal alignment for us to make significant change in the world. And to explain that, just imagine this total solar eclipse, which we're not going to see in North America, but of course it's still having its impact upon us. It's what's called an annular solar eclipse. And that's because the moon is so far away from the earth, it doesn't quite cover the sun. And so there's this beautiful ring of fire around the outside of the black center where the moon is blotting out most of the sun. Perfectly aligned, so there's this beautiful ring of fire around the outside. So what this is creating is a beautiful solar gateway where the sun is blocked out, and so it's an opportunity for a reset moment in that moment. So just imagine a portal, a gateway going right through the center of the moon, blotting out the sun, to set a new intention for ourselves as individuals, but also for the collective, to reset the energies for the next 6 months going forward. And what's interesting about this particular summer solstice solar eclipse is it's the midpoint. If you go back to January, and we had that Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, the next major conjunction is going to be a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction on the winter solstice. So we are right in the middle. So this is a choice point. And that choice point is, are you going to step through into the unknown and take a chance on the new universal energies, not knowing how they're going to work, but knowing that it's going to be a magnificent journey? Or are you going to be pulled back into the old world that you know and understand, and live a life of misery? And that's the option that's being offered to us now, is our choice point, right in the middle of those two major conjunctions on this summer solstice, on the solar gateway of the solar eclipse this evening. Just probably just after you've gone to bed. So a good thing to do would be to set the intention when you go to bed for the choice that you're going to make, and make a really conscious decision. And if you've already decided what you are going to do, then do a little ceremony during the day on Saturday today to take you through that gateway. Now, in the human design, there is a channel being created between the 15th gene key and the 5th gene key. The sun is illuminating the 15th gene key today, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But the 5th gene key is the gene key of impatience in the shadow, patience in the gift, and timelessness in the highest expression, the Siddhi, the divine essence. So you're also being encouraged to take some time out of clock time, either Saturday today or tomorrow Sunday. Try and have a period of time, if not the whole day, where you let go of the clock and you just do whatever you want to do whenever it feels right to do it, whether you want to eat, whether you want to sleep, have a nap, watch a show, go for a walk in nature. But just allow yourself to be in your own natural rhythm, your own natural time. Because the 15th gene key is all about our deep and profound connection with Mother Earth. Most of you probably know about the Schumann resonance, and the Schumann resonance is the natural heartbeat of Mother Earth. It didn't shift at all from 1953, when it was first measured, right through till the last couple of years. It was 7.8 hertz, which is a low hum. And then suddenly it started to jump up to higher frequencies, and then it would go up to a really high value. On the summer solstice last year, it was 120 hertz, significantly higher than a normal base rate of 7.8 hertz. So Mother Earth herself is entraining our brainwave frequencies to a new level of frequency. And the idea is that those higher frequencies will elevate us to a higher frequency, and therefore a greater awareness in ourselves. But if you don't know what's happening, it can cause some agitation, because you're increasing this frequency within without knowing exactly what's going on. So what we do want to do is to tune in deeply with Mother Earth and become very much aware of her timing and universal timing by stepping out of our synthetic time, the clock time, and stepping into what feels like the natural flow for us. So let's talk about the 15th gene key. Every year on the summer solstice, it is the 15th gene key that is being illuminated by the sun. And this year it's going to be on the 15 third line, 15.3, which is all about our deep and profound love for humanity. The shadow of the 15th gene key is dullness. And that dullness is to do with people with this gene key really don't appreciate and enjoy the mundane nature of life, just doing the routine stuff. And so we tend to avoid it, or we try and get it done as fast as possible. And the problem with that is when we are out in nature with Mother Earth, we can't put a time frame on it. We can't rush through our connection with Mother Earth. We have to be with her to experience the right timing. So it requires this patience and this universal timing so that we don't move off before the miracle happens. And when you do tune in with Mother Earth and you get beyond the dullness and you spend as much time as is required to be with her, then you step up into this beautiful energy, which is magnetism. And then what happens is you start magnetizing nature to you. And so you start having a beautiful new connection with the birds, with the animals, with the plants, with the trees. Just these magical things start to happen. And as you can see around me today, we've got this beautiful greenness. And you start really tuning in to the greenness of Mother Earth and allowing her to nourish you and nourish us as we make this deep and profound connection through this magnetic attraction that comes through the gift of the 15th gene key. And then the highest expression of the 15th gene key is Florescence, the divine essence of Florescence, which is about our own inner flowering. And so what this means is, as we move towards the summer solstice, it's the point when the sun reaches its highest point in the sky, and then it stands still for 3 days, and then it starts dropping and returning back to lower movement in the sky. And so this is the sun's zenith. It's its highest point, its greatest expression. And so what we're wanting to do is to align ourselves fully with our highest self, our highest expression of ourselves out in the world. And that's what this 15th summer solstice Jinki, right on this powerful solar eclipse, is all about. It's about our own inner flowering. It's around our own blossoming. And if you imagine the beautiful flowers that are blossoming around this time, just imagine those of your own inner flowers flowering. And the beautiful thing about the 15th city of Florescence is that when you flower, then those around you begin to flower. The energy that you're putting out from your inner fluorescence impacts the people around you, and those people also flower. So this is a really powerful and potent time for us to be in our highest expression of our true divine nature. So I hope you will get the chance to spend some time out in nature today and to perhaps do a ceremony, but most importantly, really find the opportunity to spend some time with Mother Earth herself, fully honouring her and feeling this deep and profound connection within. And I hope you have a wonderful summer solstice and solar eclipse.
Just to say a little bit more about the 15th Jinki, it's really easy to feel that dullness in our daily chores and feeling like we're caught up in this endless loop of drudgery. And, it's like, do the dishes, scrub the toilet, do the dishes, sweep the floor, do the dishes, and so on and so on and so on, and there doesn't seem to be any end of it. The expression, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, dullness is in the attitude of the person experiencing it. And so if we're just able to really sink into that feeling of emptiness, and if we just allow ourselves to really sink and settle into that in the moment as we're doing those repetitive tasks, it's very possible that we can sink down so deep that we go into our mother's heartbeat, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And it's that underlying vibration that's underneath it all. We're suddenly connected to all living beings on Earth, and that magnetism arises. And it's so magical when those moments happen. You might have experienced it yourself when creatures, animals, beings, birds, they just come to you. And it reminds me of Snow White, the Disney version of Snow White, where she has all manner of wildlife following her around and surrounding her, and they're all magnetized towards her. And it's just like that. And then there's the city of Florescence. And that is the wild energy of spring. And it just amazes me how the Gene Keys line up with the seasons, with the rhythms of nature. And it's just so amazing that here we are on the solstice and we're in the midst of the 15th Gene Key, the magnetism and the fluorescence. And the word fluorescence, it's such a beautiful word, and it's just bursting into flower. And it's wild and unpredictable, and it's just diving in with that kind of childlike abandon. It's, diving into the water without a care. It's like my friend Jan. She has the 15th Gene Key in her profile twice. And because of the solar eclipse that's happening tonight, we have an even more potent opportunity to align ourselves, as Peter was saying, with our highest selves, our highest calling, and our highest evolution in this lifetime. And it's not just about us, each of us personally, it's about each of us in community and globally, and coming together with common intention for the highest good of all. And for me, I feel the best way to do that is through ceremony. We enter into ceremony with an open heart and a specific intention, and we open sacred space and we call in spirit to come and co-create with us. And our ceremony today will be a Despacho ceremony, and the Despacho comes to us from the indigenous peoples of the Andes, and I like to call it a love bundle that's wrapped like a gift and given to Pachamama, Mother Earth. And it consists of all different kinds of things, and each item that goes into it is our blessings and our love go into each and everything. And underneath all of that, the very foundation of the Despacho consists of kintus, and kintus are little prayer bundles of leaves. And in the Andes, these are coca leaves, very, very sacred to the Karo peoples. But because here, I'm in Canada, Vancouver Island, we of course don't have coca here. We often improvise, and for me, I really enjoy using basil leaves, and basil is very sacred to me, and for me it's really symbolic and connected to the dragon energies. Basil is the root of basilisk, and it has a really potent dragon energy. And I have this beautiful plant here, and I'm just gonna choose 3 leaves. And when you set them out, you always put the largest one on the bottom. I'll hold them up in a sec so you can see what I'm doing here. And then the middle sized one in the middle, and the smallest one on top. And this is a little mini bundle. And you always choose the best leaves. You always give the best gifts back to Mother Earth. She gives us so much, and this is an opportunity for us to give back to her. And so we with our little bundle, and this will start laying the foundation for the Despacho. We just reach deeply inside of ourselves for our deepest essence, for the seeds of that florescence, that stillness within us. And when we find it, we blow it in. Into those leaves. And so I'd love to invite you to do the same while I hold this up, just breathing your deepest essence into the kintu, reaching inside. Whenever you feel it, just breathe it out into the kintus, into the kintu leaves. Yeah. And then also, if you have any prayers, any wishes, any blessings from Mother Earth, and prayers for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for our global community, for this sweet earth, I ask you just to do the same. Reach deep inside yourself and wrap it all within yourself, within your love and your gratitude, and then just breathe it into the kintu. Awesome. Thank you. And so we'll take the kintu, and it will become part of the foundation of the Despacho. And we'll do the Despacho ceremony. I will include video and pictures at the end of this video, so you can see how it goes. And once the bundle has been created, we will offer it to the waters here, and it's symbolic of us moving from air now, the air of Gemini, into the water of Cancer. If you want to learn more about the Gene Keys, you're invited to visit their website, genekeys.com, or you could even just go to the Gene Keys YouTube channel And there's a beautiful welcome message there from Richard Rudd. He's the originator of the Gene Keys, and that will give you a little bit of an introduction. And if you want to learn more about Peter and his work, you can visit petertung.com. And if you want to learn more about me and what I'm up to, you can visit dreamingnewen.com. Have fun today, enjoy, and feel so free to create a ceremony of your very own, and just step into it, because that's what we're doing right now. So we're all ceremonialists, we're all returning to our indigenous roots, and it's just time to connect with our mother's heartbeat again. And this is such a beautiful opportunity to do that today. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.